When we take refuge, there are 10 things we must avoid. And some of you are thinking, oh no, here he goes again with those 10 things. He's going to drive me nuts. Well, I'm going to drive you nuts till it doesn't bother you anymore. And if any of you attend any of my future teachings, expect to hear for the next 100 times. I'm going to drum it into you. And if it really bothers you, I'll put it on tape and send it to you. Just the 10 avoidables, just about. And if it really bothers you, I'll put it on video cassette and you can see me telling you about it until it doesn't bother you anymore. And if you really want to get advanced, I'll put it on disc. So, if you want to avoid suffering, you must reduce the delusions. The way to reduce the delusions is not to engage in them, to react upon them, to just say, well, that's me. I'm straightforward, so I have the delusion. That's it. I'm a straightforward person, so I tell you straightforward. Don't be straightforward with me. Don't tell me that you're straight. Don't be proud of being straightforward if it harms. Don't be proud of being harmful. Why do you say I'm straightforward? That's why I tell you. You're ugly. I told you you're ugly because I'm straightforward. Don't tell me I'm ugly and there will be no problems. Straightforwardness and acting and saying that you're straightforward and you're a straightforward person is just circumventing the real issue, which is you can't get rid of your big mouth. That's all you're saying to people. It's a big advertisement. And it's also another sign that you cannot control your mouth. So you might as well put that on a banner and wave that wherever you go and warn people. Here comes Mr. Straightforward. Here comes Mr. Straightforward. So, the way to get rid of suffering is to reduce the delusions. The way to reduce the delusion immediately, if not completely from your mind, at least on a superficial level, and then it'll become deeper and deeper and deeper. It will become enmeshed with your mind. Is to start practicing the parameters or the gates that protect you from falling off the precipice of samsara, falling off the ledge, falling off the edge of the cliff, which is the 10 avoidables. Immediately one should start. And one should not be lazy. If you proclaim yourself to be a religious person, you must start that. 3 of the body: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Those 3 must be immediately avoided. And even if you avoid it and you encourage your friends to do it, you are still committing it. In fact, it's terrible because you're creating another person to do it. You're making another person. You collect double the karma, you and your friend. To immediately stop stealing in any form, immediately. Even if it's so tempting. Know that the temptation is like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. The more you drink, the thirstier you get. It's water. Know that. Stealing, killing, and sexual misconduct must be avoided immediately and stopped or reduced. If you're completely addicted, like all of us here in samsara, reduce it. And for the speech, divisive talk that separates people, that harm people, that break people apart, break 2 parties apart, break 2 relationships apart. Stop it immediately. Harsh words. Part of that is nagging. Harsh words. Words that harm other people, that hurt other people, that damage other people. Regardless if they deserve it or not. That's your opinion. Regardless if they're your children or your parents or your friends, or you're doing it because you love them or you don't love them. If love is like that, I'd rather not have it. Don't say harsh words to people. Be kind in your speech. Be gentle in your speech. Be gentle and kind in your speech. If you do that, without having to ask for anything, request it, look for it, hang out in singles bars, you're going to have everybody following you. Everyone. Reduce harsh speech. Cut it down immediately. Lessen it immediately. Then, idle chatter. To talk about things that doesn't matter, that makes no difference. Talk about the dharma. Talk about different dharma subjects with each other. Don't talk about idle things. Who won that game? Who won that game? Who cares? What difference does it make in your life? We love to talk about SEX. We love to talk about drinking, drugs, shares, business, politics. Some of us, when we talk about politics, although we're very sleepy, we wake up immediately. If we talk about a different business proposition, we can be in a hospital with tubes sticking out of every orifice we have in our body. We're fine. It's a state of the mind. Immediately stop idle chatter. It will create a type of karma that will harm. People will disrespect you. People will not take you for real. Now and in the future. Stop lying. One must stop lying. In any way, shape, or form, by communication, by written methods, by a blink of an eye, by a motion of the body, by verbal speech, in any way, one must stop lying. Sometimes when we tell a story, we would like to add extra things in it, some spice. Stop. And even examine if I should tell that story or not. It's very tempting. And one should stop immediately. Covetousness. To be satisfied with what one has in life. To be satisfied and not to crave constantly. No one said you cannot work. No one said you cannot improve. But to be attached to it. And if you don't have it, you suffer. If you don't have it, you yell. If you don't have it, you make other people suffer. You make other people unhappy. No one is telling you not to work, not to succeed, not to make it. But someone is telling you, the Buddha, not to be attached to it. Not that your happiness will depend on it. How can your happiness depend on material things? Material things are impermanent. They can be lost, taken away, stolen anytime. If your happiness is based, and your stability and happiness and sense of security is based on such a fragile, impermanent object, you will get the consequences. You will suffer more anxiety, more problems. Be happy with what you have. Be satisfied with what you have. Do your best within your means. Be happy with your salary. Be happy with your clothes. Be happy with your life and what you're doing. But do the best that you can within that framework. Accept your karma that is like that. Once you have accepted and you relax and you work on that, your sufferings will decrease, your anxieties will decrease, and the pressure that you put on the people around you will decrease. But without attachment, without grabbing, without punishing ourselves and others, we can succeed. We can work. We can improve. No one is telling you to sell hot dogs for the rest of your life on the corner. No one is asking you to tell you to fry black bean noodles for the rest of your life down in downtown and Petaling Street. But make it and do what you can within your framework. Along with that, practice the Dharma. Try to improve. But accept that and do your best and try to improve day by day without any attachment. No one says you cannot improve. But the way of improvement is not to scream, shout, complain, and be unhappy of what you do not have. Be happy with what you do have. Be content with what you do have. Do not covet what you do not have. Because you will not have it, you don't have it, so what's the use of coveting? How silly. He has 2 lollipops, you have 1. You can't enjoy the 1 because you're suffering because he has 2. Oh, he has 2, I can't have 2, I want 2, and you don't have your 1. Have your 1 and try to consciously, slowly, with patience and time and compassion and spiritual practice, improve your lot. And remember, your lot is not just this life. It is much, much more. Do your best within your capacity according to your karma with dignity, and be satisfied with what you have. And do not make glorious statements about being big patrons of big patrons and sponsors of Dharma, of charity, of poor people and works, and use that as an excuse for your delusions and your attachments and your covetousness. Be a patron of the Dharma, be a patron of the Sangha, be a patron of Buddha's teaching by your practice. By your practice in patience, by your practice in love, in compassion, the lessening of lying, stealing, cheating, hating, hurting. Be a patron in the real way, and you will spread Dharma in the real way. We must be happy with our lot and be happy with what we have and be satisfied and try to improve. Of course, if you can do more, if you can do better, of course you do. I told you you don't have to be Mr. Hot Dogs for the rest of your life. You don't have to be Mr. Black Bean Noodles for the rest of your life. You can improve, but without attachment. But do it with dignity. Then, malice and hate. I don't think I've explained that a lot. To pull that out. Malice, hate. Malice, hate is one. Covetousness. Does anybody remember the last one? Wrong view. Correct. Wrong view. Yes, wrong view. Because to hold wrong views is the most detrimental. It will destroy your Dharma practice. Holding wrong views. When you know there is karma and you say there is not and you act against it. Not because you really feel that there is no karma, because you're using that as an excuse, again, to perpetuate your delusions. Your delusions are using that route to get to you. Then, no reincarnation. You've been explained clearly. You've been told clearly. My mouth is as dry as the Sahara Desert explaining it to you over and over. If you still say, no next life, okay. How about this life? Do you believe in this life? Yes. Do you want to be happy? Okay. Get rid of malice. Get rid of nagging. Get rid of shouting. How about this life? Can't refute me on that, can you? So, to immediately avoid those 10 things. And after you take refuge, those 10 items are the real refuge. It is not some gods on over here that you don't even know who they are, why they're holding things, what they are, how many hands, why they have 50 faces and 16,000 arms, why they're black amidst flames, holding naked, erotic. Why they're all like that? What are these silly offerings? That is not the refuge. The refuge are those 10 non-virtues. If you take refuge in the 10 non-virtues and say from today on, I will not do it. I will avoid it. I will lessen it. That is your refuge. Why? If you avoid those, you will not create further new karma to suffer. And all the old karma will lessen by your conscious effort to practice morality. The avoidances, to consciously practice, to realize their defects, to consciously practice and stop it. And then, you do not create new karma. That is your real refuge. Not a bunch of funny gods. A lot of funny colors. Some of them doing things that they tell us we can't do, like having consorts. Not those funny gods up there. Not the funny rituals. Not this funny monk up here sitting here screaming at you every night. That is not the refuge. The refuge is the Dharma. And the Dharma is the lessening of delusions. In the lessening of delusions is based on the avoidance of the 10 non-virtuous acts. Very basic. You want to practice Dharma? That's it. No more bells, rituals, initiations, wearing funny hats and clothes, having grand altars. Oh, what's your mala? Mine's amber. What's yours? Mine is bodhisattva. Who gave you that? Who gave you this? Who gave you that protection? Who gave you that amulet? Some people walk around like a cow with 30 amulets. Protection. Everywhere they go, they have an amulet. Wherever they walk, collect. You think Annabelle the cow is coming to visit you. That is not the refuge. What you wear, the altar that you have, the gods that you carry is not the refuge. Stop avoiding the real issue. Stop fooling yourself. Stop tricking yourself. Stop thinking that refuge are your beautiful malas, the beautiful statues, the centers you go to, your Dharma friends. Oh, your guru is His Holiness Shakyamuni Buddha that you have met in person, or the dreams you have upon you. That is not refuge. None of that is refuge. Refuge is avoiding negative acts. Isn't that simple? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that easy? Don't you just want to run out of here and start? Yes. If you want to get out of samsara, that's how you do it. If you want to stay here, I'm leaving. See you later. But I'm not hanging around here any longer because it has not been fun for the last 30 million years. I do not want to die. I do not want to get old. I do not want to see my body deteriorate. I do not want to get sick and then die and then come back and do it all over again. And maybe the next time with hooves, 2 horns, and a tail. I don't want to come back and do that. And then get old, get sick, and die and do it again. I want to get out of this mess. This torturous mess. I want to get out. And the way to do it, guess what? The 10 non-virtues. This CD, tape, video cassette, up to you. I'll give it to you. Free. That's how you get out. Think about it. Please think about it. We're joking about it, but think. Does that make sense? Is that logical? Is that crazy Lama telling the truth, or is he making it up? Is everybody crazy? I don't think so. There's no reason for it. You do it now. Along with that, you make offerings. Along with that, you make prayers and meditations. Along with that, you recite mantras and go for initiations and go see your teacher and be a patron of dharma, sponsor. Along with that, those are all on the side. Those are small things on the side. Avoid those 10.